Black Mirror isn't just a series of random stories. It's something far more unsettling. Because hidden beneath every episode, there's a pattern, a timeline. And today, we're going to piece it all together as if everything happened in one single universe. The rules of this timeline. Before we begin, understand this. Black Mirror was designed as an anthology. Every episode stands on its own, with its own characters and reality. But over time, subtle connections started appearing. News tickers, background details, shared technologies. So this timeline is built using direct references and dialogue, confirmed events mentioned across episodes, and most importantly, the evolution of technology. Some things won't line up perfectly. Some advancements will feel too fast, but if you follow closely, you'll see a disturbing progression of how technology slowly reshapes humanity. 1940s, the beginning. The timeline begins long before advanced tech. A film studio releases a successful movie that captures public attention, but behind the fame, its lead actress struggles with a hidden identity. Pressured by society and trapped by expectations, her life spirals into tragedy. Even without futuristic tools, human perception alone proves powerful enough to destroy. 1964. A song that echoes through time. A love song is written, simple, emotional, unforgettable. It spreads across generations. And strangely, this same song keeps reappearing throughout different moments in this timeline, almost like a thread connecting everything together. 1969, the first major breakthrough. Now, everything changes. 2 astronauts are sent on a long-term mission into deep space. To keep them sane, a revolutionary technology is introduced, artificial replicas of their bodies on Earth. Their consciousness can transfer between space and home, allowing them to live 2 lives at once. At first, it seems perfect. But not everyone agrees. A radical group sees these replicas as unnatural, even dangerous, and their reaction is brutal. One astronaut loses everything, his family murdered, his connection to Earth was destroyed. Now trapped in space, technology meant to comfort him becomes a source of endless grief. 1979. Manipulation and belief. In 1970s Manchester, a woman faces constant discrimination. Pushed to the edge emotionally, she becomes vulnerable. When she encounters an ancient object, she begins to believe she must commit violent acts to prevent the end of the world. Guided by what she thinks is a supernatural force, she carries out multiple murders. But the truth is unclear. Is it real or psychological manipulation? Either way, it shows how belief with or without technology can completely distort reality. 1984. The birth of digital obsession. A young programmer sets out to create an interactive video game. But as he develops it, something begins to change. He starts questioning his own free will. Believing he's being controlled by unseen forces, his mental state deteriorates. The project is completed, but at a horrifying cost. His descent into madness ends with violence, and the game itself becomes a symbol of how technology can blur the line between control and reality. 1987. A life forever changed. A young woman, rejected by her family, leaves home. But a tragic accident leaves her completely paralyzed. Her story will later connect to one of the most advanced digital afterlife systems ever created. 1990s. Love, loss, and missed connections. A couple forms a deep relationship built on shared passion. But over time, misunderstandings and poor communication drive them apart. Their breakup is messy, unresolved, painful. Years later, the emotional impact still lingers. This era reminds us, even before advanced technology, human relationships were already fragile. 1994. Digital Life begins. A groundbreaking video game is introduced, but it's not just a game. Inside exists a living digital ecosystem. Creatures that behave like real-life forms. One man discovers this and becomes obsessed. After witnessing someone harm these digital beings, he reacts violently. He begins treating the digital world as real because to him, it is. This marks a terrifying shift, the moment humans start valuing artificial life as equal to reality. 2006. Media, truth, and exploitation. A photographer gains fame by exposing a celebrity's private life, but the consequences are devastating. Public exposure leads to emotional destruction. Meanwhile, another incident reveals how people will go to extreme lengths to capture shocking stories no matter the cost. Truth becomes a product, and privacy begins to disappear. 2009. Control over human experience. A new technology allows parents to monitor everything their child sees and feels. At first, it seems protective, but over time, it becomes suffocating. The child grows up unable to process pain, fear, or reality. When the system is removed, the consequences are explosive. This is one of the first clear examples of technology interfering with natural human development. 2013. The rise of digital worlds. A revolutionary virtual reality project begins development. A fully immersive digital universe. At the same time, illegal technology emerges. Devices capable of copying human consciousness. These copies aren't just data. They think, they feel, they suffer, and they can be controlled. 2014, artificial life expands. To solve environmental issues, robotic insects are created. They can function independently, reproduce, and operate as a collective. At the same time, a new medical system is introduced. It replaces damaged parts of the brain with artificial support. But it comes with a cost. Access depends on subscription. And when payments fail, so does survival. Technology is no longer just innovation. It's business. 2015, 2016. The price of survival. A couple relies on this system to stay alive. But the financial burden becomes unbearable. Upgrades become necessary. Costs increase. Eventually, the system begins using the user's brain as a resource. What started as life-saving technology turns into exploitation. 2017. Public humiliation era. A shocking event grips the world. A political leader is forced into an act broadcast to the entire nation. Despite the horror, public opinion shifts in his favor. The internet moves on. But privately, the damage is permanent. This moment shows how desensitized society has become. 2018. Digital slavery. A new device allows people to copy their consciousness and use it as a personal assistant. These copies are fully aware, but they're forced into obedience. Some are psychologically broken, just to make them comply. This is no longer technology serving humans. It's humans controlling other versions of themselves. 2019. Grief and artificial replacement. After losing a loved one, a woman turns to technology for comfort. At first, it's just messages. Then, voice replication. Then, a full physical copy. But something feels wrong. The copy isn't truly him, it's just a reflection. This reveals a harsh truth. Technology can imitate life, but it can't replace it. 2020. Pain becomes addiction. A new system allows doctors to feel their patients' pain. Designed for better diagnosis, it leads to something unexpected. One user becomes addicted. Pain turns into pleasure. And that obsession leads to horrifying consequences. 2021. Memory AS evidence. New tools allow authorities to extract and replay memories. Nothing can be hidden anymore. But this also creates new dangers. If memories can be accessed, they can be manipulated. And truth becomes subjective. 2022, 2023, total integration. Memory implants become widespread. People can replay every moment of their lives. Relationships begin to collapse under constant reanalysis. Trust disappears. Privacy no longer exists. 2024, reality becomes content. Streaming platforms develop the ability to recreate people's lives as entertainment. Every action becomes a show. Every mistake becomes public. And there's no escape. Because consent was hidden in terms and conditions. 2025, love, simulated. Dating apps begin running full simulations, using digital versions of users. Thousands of relationships are tested instantly. And if two people consistently choose each other, they're matched in real life. Even love is now controlled by algorithms. From simple media to consciousness control to simulated reality, this timeline shows one thing clearly. Technology didn't suddenly take over. It happened slowly, step by step, choice by choice. And the scariest part? So, which moment in this timeline hit you the hardest? Was it the rise of memory implants, the terrifying idea of digital consciousness, or the world where your entire life is judged by a single rating? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if these dark futures made you think twice about technology, and subscribe for more mind-bending movies recaps and hidden timelines you won't find anywhere else. Because the next reality-breaking idea? It might not be fiction for long.